You want to know what Putin's biggest weakness is? Well, from a political science point of view, it may not be what you think. When we look at the scholarship, the theories of what keeps a dictator in power and what they need to stay in power, Putin has a couple problems. And the biggest one is the lack of a successor. Okay, now this might seem, how does the lack of, I could see that's a problem for the country. How's that a problem for Putin? Well, it goes into the incentives people have to stay in support of him, especially when his time comes due, right? And so here's the thing. In the theory, right? Now, this is selectorate theory by Bruce Bueno de Mesquita, Alistair Smith, Randy Siverson, and Jim Moore. Four people I've all had drinks with. The thing is, though, these guys talk about the incentives that leaders have and their followers have to support them. And in a dictatorship or a authoritarian, what they call a small coalition system, where the dictator or the leader of the country only needs the support of a small group of people to stay in power, that small group of people is critical to staying in power. And they keep the leader in power because they are getting private benefits. That's the underlying thing in all authoritarian regimes, is that the leader stays on top by providing private benefits to his supporters. Now, you can't do this in a democracy where you need millions of people to support you, but in a country where you might only need 10,000 people to support you, you can pay them off, right? And so you can set up the system. Now, the thing is, in this system, being the leader is extremely lucrative, right? The leaders in these authoritarian regimes are the wealthiest of the wealthy in their country. They are not just the pinnacle of power and prestige. There's so much wealth going to them. And in fact, that's what they do. They try to set up the system so that they are in control of as much of the stream of wealth as they can. And so the thing is that's tough for them is that's a great job and other people want it. And so a leader is always got to be worried about someone taking their position. Now, where the successor comes in. People are mortal. We know we don't know what the date is. We all got an expiration date. And when these leaders get to the point where their followers say, oh yeah, he's not looking good, or yeah, he's got cancer, he's got a heart condition, right? Something like that, or just getting old, right? That's when they start saying, ooh, this is going to go sideways here. And their question, their concern is they know that everyone's going to jockey for that position. And they may want to jockey for that position. But they also know that if somebody else takes the position, they might not have space for them, right? That other person, when they take over, will want to give, their point of view, right? So, if I'm the guy, right, I could really see that my money, my position, my everything I've got will go to one of this guy's supporters, and I'll be kicked out in the street if I'm lucky. That's all that'll happen to me. So when we get towards the end, there's this big concern that this Game of Thrones is going to start, right? Unless you have a successor. If you have a clear-cut successor, then there's more of an expectation that, no, the current deal is going to hold and we're going to just move on to them. That is why North Korea is so stable, because they are the poster child for absolutely, yes, we have a successor, right? And they have the Kims have done a good job of making sure that they always have the successor laid out. Examples of dictators who didn't have successors: Ferdinand Marcos in the Philippines, Shah of Iran, Hosni Mubarak, right? And by the way, in Zimbabwe, the leader there, he was getting old, and Mugabe was getting old, and he was okay. Because he had a path of succession, right? He changed it. He screwed up the path, and within a week he was gone. Right? So for Putin, he doesn't have a successor. So anytime there's going to be concern about his health or these other things, right, it's going to get weird. right? His support is the supporters. They are going to start jockeying for position. They may not support him. They certainly are not going to do things kind of like the Shah of Iran when the student protests started. The people in the military are like, yeah, you're going, you're out of here. There's no replacement for you. I'm not going to shoot students. And, then you leave and I'm stuck with no, that's not happening. And so that's the kind of situation Putin may be getting in because he doesn't have a successor. And this is, it's not alone going to get rid of him, but he gets the sniffles, right? Or then he's got a problem. So that's one of them. By the way, there's another one that I'll address in another video. So check that one out.